Hey everybody, it's Tafony here once again. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm rambling about the Intellijel Palette 104. I'm going to do a quick jam. I'm going to talk about the modules I'm taking into the studio today. I'm going to talk about cases. I'm going to talk about the whole series. So it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag, but I hope you'll bear with me for that one and hopefully share some thoughts of your own on what you think about cases, what you think about the palette series, what you think about everything in boxing your Eurorack modules up. So it sounds like this. Okay, sorry for the weird intro jam. I thought it might be fun to try and make something on the case alone, even though it's not in the plan for today with it. It's not going to be used as its own voice for anything, I don't think, anyway. I just want to see if it was possible, and I think it is. However, I'm not beating the balaclava wearing noise artist allegations, so yeah, anyway, let's get into it. So what is Intellijel Palette? It is a series of super compact cases. Now, I own two of them, and I'm going to be doing a lot of demonstrating perhaps with the other 62 version that isn't loaded up. So like I said in the intro, it's going to be a bunch of crossover between talking about what's in my rack today, what's going into the studio, what I think about the palettes. Anyway, we're just going to blab. The yapper has arrived. So let's get to that. So the big kicker with the palette cases, and I think the thing that I want to talk about the most is what makes people love them or hate them. I am in the camp of saying they are a beautiful design. This array, and I'm going to possibly bring a third case into this one just to make it hilariously obtuse on the screen. So here's the 62. The design here that the bus board is vertically mounted against the top row is really, really clever. And some people, and okay, let me rephrase that before I say some people find it really annoying. It is really annoying to try and get cables into that. Now, it is, in my mind, so worth it because, yes, it's annoying. Yes, Intellijel recommends you remove this row. I don't think you actually have to do that, in my opinion, but they recommend basically when the case is empty, I don't know why I'm trying to show it to you this way, when the case is empty, load this bus board up with as many ribbon cables as you can, so you always have power and you never have to try and fight through modules to fish through them. So you never have to try and like remove one module and then worm your way through the one U row to get at it. But the reason why I think that is such a genius design, because I'm not ragging on this case at all. I love this case. I own it. ALM 6U52, awesome size, by the way. If I could make cases of my own, I have this with a 1U row and like a hair wider. I think that's like the perfect portable case. But anyway, this with a bus board that's not vertically mounted in a super clever thing that not only serves as the bus board space, the outlet for your power supply, also includes buffered mults and MIDI I/O and case jacks, which you have to pay for those, obviously. Kind of not my favorite. I wish they had routed them in such a way that maybe we gave up one of the rows of malts for interfacing with those 1/4-inch jacks directly rather than having to buy the 1U rows. But hey, it is what it is, and it is a lot cheaper than this case that is a lot more expensive. Well, not a lot more expensive, but per HP, you're looking at like another $200 basically after tax for this one, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a minute since I purchased them. This one now, I wanted to say on the front of the bus board, this ends up being way taller overall and can't fit as deep modules. Now, it's a lot easier to get at these bus boards, at least from the top row. It's also a pain to get it from the top row if you have it cased up or if you have it all racked up with modules. But I am not going to... Unfortunately, the deepest module I have is the little Mikey, which you are listening to my voice through right now, and I can't rip it out to demonstrate it, but the little Mikey will fit in the smallest case I have because it is super deep. It's deeper than certain spots on the performance case was even, but I can't fit it in this case, despite being taller overall, because, at least not on the top row, because this bus board just gets in the way, just narrows your depth, especially in this corner where the PSU attaches. You need super narrow modules. You can't, here, just to demonstrate, here's the Hex VCA by Bufaco. Yes, this is a DIY one, but doesn't fit in that corner because of that bus board. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the ALM case. I just want to say that that is kind of the whole, if you're considering or if you're looking at your first cases to start, you're looking at the palette case, if that's why you're here. That's kind of the entire kicker of the palettes. Are you okay with that? And I am going to but I'm going to argue that it's worth a little bit of headache because the design overall is so much better. And yeah, at worst, buy the case, load it up with all of your ribbon cables while it's still unracked, and then you always have access to them. Yeah, otherwise, I think you can't... I don't want to get into a discussion around buying Canadian versus buying American right now, but if you are a Canadian, I think these are expensive, yes, but everything in your rack is expensive, and these are very well built. And I know it doesn't necessarily matter, maybe it does in the in the terms of case, but like if you're concerned with fit and finish, I'm not a reviewer, I'm not here to anyway, I think you will. I think if you're concerned with fit and finish, you'll appreciate that. I'm just noticing I'm missing a screw from there, which is my fault. But yeah, that's the 62. That is my thoughts on it. Now, mine, I've loaded up with modules to take into the studio today. I'm going in to record with Max once again, and I'm going to talk about my selection modules. If you want to check out here, if you're only concerned with hearing about the case, that's really most of what I have to say about them because the palettes are the same. However, on the 104, you get a little bit, you get a third malt here, a third row of buffered malts, but then you also get a add to sources, which is cool if you want to do like full proactive tracking and an envelope to a filter cutoff for say. You can throw one in there, the other one, and then sum them together there. And then there's another cascading one. And again, these are nice because you can just throw one into the top and then it all cascades down. So I've got a clock for an example, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. That would be 13 and 14 multiples of that clock, which is super nice. And I like, in my weird setup currently, it's nice to just be able to throw clock from her mod, per se. Yeah, you can see that on the screen. Just into this huge row of malts. It's anyway, I'm going to argue for this design because I think it's really great. But I know many people personally who are just like, I can't deal with that ribbon cable thing, which I'm going to tell you that I think you should. Anyway, let's talk about modules I'm taking to the studio today. So last week in the studio, we did recording some modular in, recording some Digitone 2 in. We've made our song structures, our structures. We've arranged the songs. And then today I'm going to go in and we're going to retrack stuff, feeding it through the modular, and then track it back into Ableton. So this is basically the process that I did last time on the album. However, today I'm bringing a couple different modules. Last time I brought the entire performance case by Intellijel, the 6, 7U 104. I brought that entire thing in with a bunch of voices and stuff. Now I have the what did I say? I would keep calling the monster case. It is the Mega Rack by Erica Sins. So I'm not bringing that entire thing. Obviously, I'm going to take this on an Uber or train, and this thing needs to fit into that. And like I said, I'm processing stuff back in, so I don't need a sound source. However, I am bringing the Vic because it can be an effect source, but it also is a sound source itself, as you heard in the intro jam, which is super cool. I'm just going to go through module by module and talk quick about why I chose them, and then we'll say goodbye. So Pam's Pro, when it comes to small cases, like you can't beat Pam's. Just as a clock divider, yeah, it's great. Some modulation options there too, and then that can, anyway, 8 HP, does like all of the utilities. It's perfect for this setup. Stereo strip is how I'm going to bring the Ableton mix in here. You do get a little bit of EQ. I'll see if I use that, but it actually makes a really nice saturating, not distortion. It can distort a little bit, but it like even if you just like crank all the faders, all the EQs up, it just sounds like super nice and saturated. So we'll see if I use that or not. We'll have to see. VicX, I was just talking about, you can feed it audio, which I want to try. I want to try feeding vocals through VicX too. I think that would be super sick. And then Erica Sense Black Joystick 2. This actually, I chose this because I had exactly 12 HP worth of room, and I wanted to bring the Ultra Kick in, but I don't have room. I'm just shy by 2 HP. And then I'm like, you know what? What's a fun way to perform? And it can be a modulation source too. If I want to make my own LFO, I can just record this and we'll go. We'll see what happens. Begar. I don't know if I'm going to need to mix anything necessarily, but if I did want to mix the Vic next to something else, perhaps. Most importantly, though, with this one, I want that distortion because this thing sounds super nice. So nice. Yeah, some overlap with the stereo strip and the like nice saturating distortion. It doesn't actually get like incredibly nasty, but anyway, it will sound very good to run through that. Data Bender because it's my favorite module, maybe, probably. But I want Data Bender sounds all over the record just because, yes. Overseer, a close second for favorite module, DJ filter, yes. Who would want that in Eurorack? I 1000% would. Performer, speaking of DJ tools, tape stop and stuff I used a couple times on the last record, and I'm worried I'm going to overuse it this time, but we'll just have to see. And then Desmodus Versio, because it's my favorite reverb, and I want to also have it on this record too, probably, but we'll see how that goes. There is a nice reverb on the Performer too, but it's not quite as crazy. Anyway, that's the sort of thing, like, I really like it. I think it's really underrated, but like, are we going to just do reverbs in Ableton rather than use this one? I don't know. We'll just have to see, but that's why it's coming with me for now. And then FSR, because I think it'd be fun to do some performative stuff on that. It's just a simple, when you're kind of like data mangling a mix that's coming back in, I think something like this is great. I don't need a clocked LFO like I usually love. I can just take the CV out of this and we'll press the button. Headphone, because it literally filled the space. There is this navigator, which again can be it's normal to 5 volts, I think, so it could be a CV source, but also an attenuator for PAMs if I need a attenuator for PAMs. And then another attenuator, it's the, oh man, what is this thing called? This is you people are probably screaming at home. It is called the, it's the Atten? No. Oh man, I can't believe I can't remember the name. Anyway, it's Intellijel 4 mixer attenuator. Ouch, I can't believe I can't remember the name of that. Wow. Guillotine by Ritual Electronics. This thing I love. I'm worried it's going to be a challenge in the studio if it's just going to like blow out things down the train, like because it's hard clipping, it'll just increases the gain overall. So might need to actually do some attenuation here using the Quadrat. Thank you, I just remembered it. Might need to attenuate it afterwards just to not blow up other modules or the interface or what have you. But yeah, this thing sounds awesome. There is some nice saturation, and then the Guillotine can just explode the setup, which is great. Cloverleaf, lastly, I want to do a video on the Cloverleaf because I had problems with it last time I took it into the studio too, where I was using the case interfaces of the performance case, and I don't know if it was the module or the case or the setup or if I wired it backwards or what, but we might try and see how that goes today. I don't know. But yeah, that's what's coming in the studio today. I'm Tafony. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Let me know what you think of the palette. Do the commenting, liking, subscribing, all that crap that Google's always on my case about not promoting to you. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Take care.